on time. All right. Welcome. Yeah. Hey guys. Back at it again. Let's see. Tech check. Looking good. Mic looks on. It's mic on. Looks like it's coming in. Alrighty. Cool. Welcome. Let's see here. Oh, that's kind of mean. Okay, that's okay. Just saw a number like actually moving around. That was freaking me out. Numbers are coming into Cintiq. Okay. I think we're good. Alrighty. Cool. Yep. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Welcome. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't think this far, but, hello. Hi, Star Cookie, and then, hello. All right. Good to see you. And anyone else is coming in. Hello. Or who's not gonna talk. That's okay too. Hello. Hi. Alrighty. Let's see here. Everything okay? Everything good. That's more on my end actually, but if you guys are okay too, that's good to check on you. Do a vibe check on you. Looking good. Alrighty. Welcome. I did do a lot of work, relatively, between streams from last Tuesday, or yeah, a couple days ago. So things have been updated. We didn't have this post before, so that's something. And as I go around the scene, then you'll see more stuff has happened. So let's just play through what that looks like so far right now. This is Blender 3D, or I guess just Blender at this point. Looking a little laggy. Oh, I know why, actually. I need to simplify here. Is that right? Alright. Maybe it's one of these. Simplify 0. Oh, there we go. Yeah, she was too high quality that my computer wasn't able to run it. It should work. Oh yeah, we got good frames now. Alright. Boink. So there we go. We're getting there. We got the major points. Major keyframes have been added. So now it's kind of making sure that these kind of work and each timing of each keyframe works as well. So I've been daddling along to figure out what kind of poses I want and try to strangle with those to make some of those kind of work a little better. But yeah, I also worked on rigging this tree. So this tree has bones and how do I see? I want the entire armature. Tree is its own thing now that has every apple figured out. Maybe it's this one actually. In front. There we go. I know. She becomes too powerful. Let's see. So this shows on the left, bottom left of all the keyframes, and on the right shows the graph numbers of what's actually going on for everything here. So I animated the tree. I rigged it to have these bone structure. So I made this like armature of these different bones, so each of these can they're connected to the mesh. So it's kind of like bending the tree in 3D space now. It makes it really fun. So parenting all these systems so that they work pretty well. Obviously, if you move it too much, then it kind of breaks it. But for my just little like little animation, it kind of works pretty well. If you look on the left side, that works pretty well. Each of these kind of work pretty well. And then the apples themselves also have their own bendy bones. It's a little hard to see with the in front, so I turn that off. Or actually, this one off in front. And so each of these have their own little armature and setup as well. Hello, cartoons. Welcome. Yeah. Alright. Let's see. So each of these apple bones, that's what we're gonna have to call them. These apple bones are connected to the tree bones, but they're actually separated in a weird sense. I looked up online to figure out like what kind of way to have different objects be connected through bones, but not being literally connected to the same armature. So you can have the armature as a collection of your whole skeleton, and then there's a bunch of different individual bones. So instead of connecting this apple bone directly to the skeleton of the tree, I did this modifier blender of child of constraint. So it's still having to be, so the apple bone is targeting the tree animation armature, and then specifically the left arm, so that's that one, and the right arm. So it's taking all the location, rotation, and scale of whatever the tree be doing. Then the little apple bones are being constrained to be relatively close to how the that moves, but there's still actual different. Each apple is its own armature that has its own bone system. So they even made it so like the little stem can be wiggled around, or at least independently moved around a little bit too. I had to figure out a way to get it so that it rotated around the right axis, but this allows it for a little bit more fun movement with that. So each of these were the same way, so I kind of duplicated it to have these all work. Beep. But yeah, so I was able to animate it. That's a little better. So you can see like the stem kind of stays in place, so I can wiggle the apple and not move the stem around, or if I want the stem to also move the whole apple. So there's a lot more flexibility in what I'm able to do with all this now. This is probably the way that regular 3D animation is set up, is that you have these sort of armatures and bones and setups. So, because usually like my older 3D animations, I would not have bones, and I would just literally take the entire mesh, and I would just kind of rotate it along its own axis. Like arms and legs might be in separate pieces and separate meshes, and then rotate it around a point. I think I did a little bit of bone work with the monkey magnet one that I described a couple streams ago. With that animation, which update on that, I have not found it. I looked really hard to find it, but it's not on the right hard drive that I got. So, fortunately, yeah. Let me get to this one. I think I can get into the right frame. So some way, let's see, right arm. Let's just delete this frame so I can go back to normal. There we go. I must have made a new keyframe accidentally. That should set it back to normal on this one, and then set it to sorry, Alt R, Alt G, Alt S, Alt S. So I think with the monkey magnet one, I probably did the mesh way of just rotating the entire. If I go into object mode and then take the tree and kind of move this around and pretend that, oh look, it's an arm or an elbow or upper arm or hand or something, and just kind of rotating it in 3D space rather than trying to distort it, you know, with bendy bones to just go, oh look, now I can bend, and at the bottom of this one kind of moves the whole thing. That doesn't quite work as well as I thought, but it works just fine for me for not having to, I don't have to move it like in this way, so that works. And it's 3D, so I can go forward and backward too. Anyway, that was the big thing, as well as the Derpy keyframes. So we go into here. I also did a fun thing of, I'm just catching you guys up. What I did last time is that I figured out a way to have her wings open and close, essentially. So you can see here that her wings are open at the beginning. So there's this like fold wings parameter, binary in a sense, of what it's either is on or off. So And I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't really have, there's no way to keyframe it in here, or like there's no secret way to have one of these daubles do anything. So I just right-clicked on it, and it's like, oh look, you can add. And there was like inserts. Like if I do this one, insert keyframe, and then it made it this editable thing now. So it's like cool, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So now at the right point, I can have her wings open, and then on the right frame, I can have it. Then you see here that it just closes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also changes the value because I keyframed it with that. So learning new stuff, and that's always fun. There is a way to do like drivers and add a keying set and add driver or something crazy. I'm not gonna explore that because I think that's extremely more complex than everything else that I've explained so far. So I'm not gonna deal with that just yet. So adding those keyframes is just fine. Let's see though. The hair and stuff will be animated later. I'd like to do that in 2D afterward as like one of the final steps. So it'll be like body, face, and then hair is my method of how I like to do it. How you guys doing? Let me get some water. That was very... I don't know how techy that sounded, but I knew exactly what I was talking about, so... yeah. Exactly. Let's see, though. Let's go back to the storyboard just real quick to remember what we're doing here. It's basically all this. So I got most of the kind of keyframes of the storyboard here already. Let's see, though. Mixing 2D and 3D, in a sense, just how I'm kind of do... I'm having to use my 2D animation skills to do this in 3D, but for 2D assets, I was thinking of having some background stuff, and we were deciding at one time of what kind of background we wanted, and I think we chose G4 style. I think, and of course, all the textures are always 2D, like the leaves on here are like a 2D texture. So if you mean like that as well, yeah. It's also just when I just say 2D, it's like mostly gonna be just the way that I motion graph these things out. It'll probably be on 2s or something crazy, which might have its own style. Might feel more stop motion-y, rather than Cintiq. Stop motion-y is... It can have stop motion on 1s, but it'll always kind of feel kind of floaty. I don't know. They're always more grounded though, so it makes it feel like every frame is its own thing rather than having it being tweened exactly from point to point. Which also brings me up to I found some onion skin stuff that if I take the mesh of Derpy rig, body, onions to selected. Hello, Marcus. Yeah. Let's see. So cute. Something came crashing down in the background. Yeah, we're okay. Let's see. So I'm just gonna do the enabled onion skin. So this is where I can see before and after. This is a plugin. I forgot who made it, but I'm sure they're a great person. So it makes it real easy for me to see, like, I like having this in 2D as well. It's just being able to see. Works on every viewport as well. It's actually 3D onion skin, which is, I don't even know how that's even possible. That's pretty cool. But it takes the before frame, which is this one, and then the next frame, and then the next frame is green. So now you can see when she gets up to the next, I know that the next frame is she's gonna be up here. So I kind of did it in the same colors as Flash just to keep myself sane as well, to kind of know what's going on. But yeah, this can help me if I need to, like, in 3D space, figure out, like, where's the next in between or something, or just to make sure that my arcs were, like, if something's moving really fast, like this, I can make sure that issue, like, in the middle is, like, and see, like, the next frame is, like, it's kind of maybe not in the right place, so I can, like, kind of move this around to make sure everything's good. So I think everything's pretty good. Make sure their head is pretty far over there. And then I can go to pose mode, hopefully. And then start working on it. Beepity beep. Main. And start working on it. Okay. Of course, it is a little bit hard to see though, so I might want to make the opacity just a little bit less. But if I wanted to, I can, like, start working on this to figure out, like, well, maybe it needs to be more up, or, like, figure this out to make sure that every pose works now. And see that. There you go. And then I know where this one is and just kind of work around it. And so probably here might need to be a bit further, and then a couple frames later move this one down, and then move this one down. So it's, like, a little helpful to get that going. So boop boop. Like juice. Bum, ba-da, bum. All right, let's see, what should we work on? Just kind of start from the beginning. Let's kind of start figuring this out. We also have to figure out the cell phone. I haven't settled on what to do with that yet. There's no material on it. Excuse me. There's no material on the... This is someone else's texture. Yeah, I don't have anything for that yet. I can make mine just as I can see it. Material. So, yeah, I don't have anything quite yet. Let's make it just pink or something just so I can see it real quick. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, here we go. Now it's all the build up. Let's actually go. Again, I'll just focus on mainly just the performance and any kind of timing that I see so far. So she doesn't move until here. And then we start seeing her here. So we might start having her be on screen, and then I probably want to have, I'll probably have, like, her hand, like, touch the phone and kind of swipe up or something, do something pretty quick, and then see where that goes. So let's start to get the hoof to kind of rotate it up. Get the other one. This is where it kind of takes a little bit more concentration, I guess, to get this going. So how you guys doing? Beep. Probably want to move the other arm down a bit. Let's see. As they're touching. Let's just figure that out. Let's see. Maybe it's something like this. Doing fine. Awesome. Feeling good. Oh, you guys are great. That's good to hear. I'm going to turn off a lot of these boats because I can't see. Don't need back legs. Root, main, roots. Let's see. Productive week. Oh yeah, I'm feeling pretty good as well. I've started, just about ended our, one of our big Midnight Mares, sections, I should say. Finished a big shot, like the last big shot for the, this little, teaser thing we're doing. So, finished the animation for that and got it shaded and put in the After Effects and, got it comped out, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. So that's been doing great. It's been really fun to work on that. It's like it's somewhat pony related, but it's also like trying to be its own thing. So let's see. It's like a sister series. The director was like, got like, you know, inspired by bronies and stuff. So he was like, yeah, I like that. And humbleness, I guess, to like make sure that's like, yeah, you're not supposed to really say you're ripping it off as much as you're just kind of taking inspiration, I guess. There you go. Let's see. So now she's trying to get on here. How do you swipe? You swipe down, you swipe up. I think it's swipe from the bottom, actually. Like, that's good. Not great. Whoa. And then down. Yeah, that's look good. Okay, figuring it out. This little balding is my rotate the elbow kind of style. Beep. Beep. Again, I'm not exactly a 3D artist, so I'm like trying to figure this out as I go, so hopefully you're okay with that. Let's maybe move the... I have to move this out a little bit. Hello. Maribolo. Hello. Streaming videos on SciTube. Oh, okay. Well, hello. Yeah. Welcome. Let's see. Try my best. Now I feel like a fool that I'm not really good at 3D animating, so I'm just kind of like fumbling around until something happens. Kind of going like, well, does this work? Nope. Oh well. Let's try this. And it's like, oh, that kind of works. Yeah, maybe we should look that up, Star. It just ended. Okay, cool. Well, I just started, so that'll be good. Okay, I think I suppose it's good. Boop. Do boop boop. And then right about here. MLP stream. Oh, there's MLP streams. Cool. I mean, yeah, there's ours for like when a new episode is, but I guess didn't expect that. Let's see. So using different views, using different angles, different versions of this to see right about where this goes. Beep beep. There you go. And then she falls into a tree. Joosh. And then maybe kind of get it up a little bit to like keep that going a little bit more. This rig is amazing. It's simple enough that it's like I feel like I can get really a lot of mileage out of it already. You can see. Without too much of a crazy hassle with all this. So used to like Toon Boom and like Flash rigs of like, well, to be able to make this pose, I have to make either, you know, have to make its own drawing or like try to finagle with like maybe like 3 different pieces that are like independently created, that just have like maybe a shared pivot point, you know, and it's like not always guaranteed that they actually are gonna if you rotate a piece, whether or not it's actually going to rotate around the right set of rotation and everything. So, yee. There you go. It's nice. It's kind of gets the kind of feeling. Oh, there she is. Let's turn off the tree. Can I turn off? Can I hide like the armature? I can especially just hide the tree. That'll help. So I put every tree element inside of a folder, so I can turn it all on off on one click. Let's see. Go Stories up. Oh, awesome. Go Stories. I've heard is its own thing, its own experience. Let's see. Yeah, I just saw like the funny YouTube clips. So I don't know if there's like a continuing story. Does even like Conan the Detective have like a continuing story, or is it just? I noticed like I watched like the first couple of episodes of Conan the Detective, and it was just kind of like several episodes for like one case in quotes, I guess. So I don't know if that's like the same or not. Anyway. There we go. Bloop. 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 I'm looking over on the left side, so. Oh, yeah. That's true. It's not quite appropriate for here. The sub's fine here. Not the dub. Yeah, the dub kind of goes on its own rails. Let's see. Beep, 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 So I got that pose, and then roughly around with this one. Let's start to like have it react to her hoof touching the phone. Kind of a thing here. Follow through. And figure out what the heck is going on with this elbow. Let's go back and figure out why this elbow is freaking out. So we just gotta keep rotating. This is a little tricky. I have to like memorize whether or not a bone or one of these. They're all bones actually. They're all like they can have Blender display them as different displays. I think it can have it be display as a different type of shape. So thankfully the creator of this rig and model was able to make it fairly easy to understand and like understand like, oh look, this is the hoof shape one and this is the shape circly one, so I'm able to know what they are. But it's, I have to also remember whether or not it's if it's made for rotating or moving, because most of these things, most of animation and especially 3D animation is all based on rotation. Like you barely get to like move the head. That's not a great example. Yeah, I guess you can move a lot of things, but most of what you're doing is a lot of arcs with actually rotating your pieces rather than having a... Yeah. Can't think of an isolated thing of not having it be... Like, oh yeah, you can't not have it be rotated. Bump. There you go. So it'll just be up to now, kind of saying like, okay, this is looking good. I can move on to maybe another piece. And just start to follow through with what I made. So it's just kind of like going through every piece now and saying like, let's have this be a little bit lower. So just got to be looking down a little bit more. And then as she kind of like flips up, then like her head can slowly also kind of move up a little bit. Let's see. And I know from just experience that you gotta just make very, very, very minute changes with this to make it look okay-ish. Let's see. Some old pop culture. Mostly old slaps. Okay, gotcha. You ever tried making a video on Gmod? Gmod. Making a video. I think I tried like 10 minutes of Gmod. But same with SFM, I wasn't able to really feel confident way back when. This is like when I was using the laptop and like 10, 15 years ago. So wasn't exactly the beef powerhouse that my computer has now to like really understand and like really wanting to do a project like that as well. Learn something new. I mean, just trying to do this is already pretty tricky. So trying to also expand my horizons with something else. It's going to be also something a little tricky. Not to say that I'm opposed to it, but also kind of like, I think for right now I just want to just focus on one thing at a time. Let's see. Let's just go through it and see if I can add more intermediate keyframes like this for right now. Because I was going to almost like do her wings. I was like, that's going to be its own challenge. So instead, I'm going to not do that and just move on to when she's in the tree. And then start to play around with these poses a little bit more. Let's see. Let's get the other front leg here. Yeah, as I said, like on the other one that I kind of made like a really, really rough source filmmaker animation, which was not great. Wasn't even animation or just playing around with the I think I use CF2 models. I think in Gmod I might have. I think I'm getting confused because Gmod and Source Filmmaker all use the same Steam assets, so I don't even know which which one I was using at the time. But I think I used Filmmaker more. Where is her butt? Okay, there's her butt. Okay, just gonna rotate her butt just a bit more. But yeah, never done anything. Nothing that's a big project yet with either of those Steam stuff. This is fun. Let's see. So I think Source Filmmaker is like on an older style computer level. Was it like? Is it like 32-bit or something? So that doesn't sound too fun. Trying to deal with that. Because remember that it wasn't the best for performance in the world. That was the other one. Also, I said like the sliders were confusing at first. I think I understand it now, but I think just not able to do stuff like this where I'm just kind of clicking around and hoping that it works. She's like trying to bump. Trying to grab the ground. Bonf. Let's see. Gmod is like quite built from how many controllables well as at once with finance challenge. Okay, it's a challenge. Yeah, I get you. I've seen all those like GPod and animations and stuff. And it's like, never really interested me. I don't know. I wasn't like, oh yeah, that's like a thing I want to learn, or that's something I want to do. It always was like, I don't really want to learn how to do this. This looks weird, like weird puppeting, and it's more like game-based animation, which was not something I was too into. I wasn't like, yeah, let me sign me up, you know. It's kind of like, okay. How is this useful? Like, I wanted to tell cartoons, and it's like, nah, I don't know. She's trying to, she's doing her best. She's still smiling. She's okay. Hi, bye, Sasha. Thank you. Yeah, to you, Alex. Thank you. Let's see. What I want to do is, why does your like rotate her a little bit? But I was trying to figure out like how to just rotate her from the right angle. So I'm trying to find the right bone, but it's not too used to this thing yet. So I'm just kind of playing around until one of them sort of does what I want. Maybe this is, but then it kind of moves everything around. I can like kind of like move her a little bit. So bop bop, bop bop, and then just kind of slide her, and then kind of rotate her down a little bit, and then everything else I'll just sort of. There you go, bomf, 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 and then we get the hair physics. It'll be really cool. Bomf, boof, boof. I already got that other extra pose here, so that's doing pretty good. Boof, 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 boof. Barely. Boof, 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 boof. Okay. Boof, boof. So for here, I would like my. Let's see, let's get the rig, let's get the body, let's get the clear, and redo, there you go, onion skin. So now I want to see where the poses are now, so I can see right about here, whereabouts, oh, like the, it's kind of weird. Oh well. Got an email. Let me just check. Thank you, YouTube, for saying I'm live. All right. Let's see. Derpy's numb to pain. I hope so. For just how much trauma she's going through all the time. Let's turn that up so I can see where me bones are. Actually, if that's the next thing, then let's get 2. Ah, that's where it is. So I'm gonna get this to be somewhere in the middle. Stop drawing. Bump, 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 bump. Okay, so that's looking good. Oh, it's weird being in stop motion. I kind of actually like it. I don't know if you guys appreciated just how weird it is to be stop motion-y. It's kind of fun. It's like that Lego movie where it's like, huh. A lot of people thought that it was stop motion, but it, of course, wasn't. So it's kind of fun to do this kind of style. Is there too many other stop motion-y 3D animation stuff? I know like some of the newer, like, what was one of the Wallace and Gromit's actually 3D? Or they had like 3D elements, or like using digital green screen and stuff. I know Leica used a lot of green screen. Leica, the stop motion, box roll, what else? Missing Link, that was the newer one. I think they're working on something new. Paranorman, all those. Let's get it smaller. Relative motion, and then I'm gonna get probably never got the chance to get probably good at it. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like just animating, but you're just kind of saying like, "Oh, I'm not gonna interpolate between these two intermediate frames," and just saying like, "Look, here's a nice kind of pose in the middle." So instead of like in Flash, like tweening literally everything, it's like just kind of take what you got here and saying like let's kind of just interpolate it without keyframes or without tweens, which I think is more noble. It's more fun. It's more fun to do it this way anyway. So I can see with my onion skin that her head is going to be up there in a couple frames. Let's see. I wonder if the bubblegum mark actually meant there is an airhead. Ooh! Oh, we got new lore. New lore dropping. Alright. I love it. What was my original, like, when I saw the kingdom mark? I don't know if I had, like, a some sort of understanding of what it was. I thought Bubbles, I don't know. Yeah. Bubbles just kind of very cute. And it just kind of happened to work pretty well for her. That's wrong button. Beep. Important thing is also to make sure that your drawings, your poses also work. Turn off your onion skin and make sure that they poses still work on their own. I feel like that's also really important. I feel like a lot of people kind of miss sometimes too. That's like, wait a minute. Yeah, you can add an in-between and have it kind of work, but does that in-between pose actually stand on its own, even if it's going to be, you know, interpolated real quick? So I feel like that's just as important to make sure that all these still kind of work. Not done with the posing, but I think I got the neck pretty good. Kind of flies up pretty fast, so maybe I can have this one be a little bit lower. Figure out. Let's see. Kind of reason, Enigma. It's there. That is good, yeah. I like that. Because of course she wasn't really meant to, her like character and character model in G4 wasn't really meant to be specifically derpy, you know. It's just kind of like, just kind of happened to become a fan favorite, and it's like, whoops, this was like a random collection of colors and hair and random eye colors and random cutie mark that all just kind of became a character, you know. So it's not quite, this is what derpy is. So it's like, yeah, well, we didn't think of her as this kind of a character beforehand, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, she wasn't a developed character, so before the fans kind of took over. So it's understandable that your cutie mark doesn't quite 100% fit anyway. So I'm okay with that. Boop, boop. I'm actually really loving this. I don't know why. This is just like, it's so cool. I was planning on having it be in between and tweened and stuff, and having everything on ones, so like every single frame, you know, has, you know, something happening. But this feels like a weird, like, action figure kind of toy. It's really fun. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm loving this. This is great. It's kind of fun style. Of course, it technically still is 3D animation, so it's still okay, you know. That even if it's not, quote, like, realistically animated 3D. Still think that's just fine. Probably want to make that apple not be squished there. Bop. I want to like squish her all the way down or something. How do I do that? Let's see. Bump, bump. I'll also play with her face, so don't you worry about that as well. I'll get her face to bump, bump. React well, so I have like her blink here. But now that I'm figuring out that I want to do it on 2s, I can get this timed out pretty good to work with that. There you go. This is looking pretty good. Bop. Bop. Bop, bop. Let's get the onion skin just so I can see what does happen between these two. Let's see. Derpy action figure. No, it's not it. Let's see it move first. Okay. I'll play it to see what we got so far. Obviously, it doesn't go all the way to the end. And I got the onion skin. Yep. It really works. I don't know why. I love it. Now that I know that I want to do it on 2s, because I figured out that I wanted to do 2s like 100 frames in, so like everything before it's not quite set up. Oh, hi Ben, sorry. Didn't say yeah to you. There you go. Let's see. Let's keep going on this. Finish this up. Get these last pieces, and I wanted my onion skin. Bump, bump. Let's have her kind of raise back up. So let's have her get into this pose. Rockin' boss. I'm not actually familiar with what that is. What even is it? If I can say that. Hey there. So I think for here, I'm figuring out that I probably want her to look more downward. So that's this way. It's actually a little bit easier to kind of work with these now, with these poses. And now I don't have to worry about it being in between 2 perfectly, because then it's like, oh, okay. Because trying to like in between all these, when I was working on the chapter 5, like at the end, spoilers for that, I guess, for my own cartoon. I have it. Ooh, look at that. It's not quite done, but looking good. Oh, I love it. I was trying to figure out how to get the snakes at the end to like row the boat, and it was just like not working, like really at all. It was like horrible. So, and the way that Blender interpolated the what I wanted to happen was like not what I expected. Like the oar would like flip out if I try to like have it go between 2 poses, which I thought were pretty close to each other. Like it'd be like an orb, like Let's see if I can drive real quick. I have the file, but there's my own little tangent. Oh, they made this stop motion. Oh, the holiday ones. Oh, awesome. Cool. Sorry about that. Like, we had like an oar at this angle, and then on the next frame, it was like, here's an oar. And then what Blender would do was that it would take that and see like where the next frame is. And it's like, okay, let me interpolate what that is in 3D space. And so it would go for like the whole length of where it would go, and then it would kind of like end back up there. And it's like, why? It like spin around in 3D space until it like got to the end of the cutscene of the keyframe, and it's like, okay. So I just gave up on trying to figure that out, and I just kind of made it on ones and just kind of incrementally made each pose for that for the rolling animation. So yeah. How we doing? Hello, Unspinnable. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Actually, just bringing about balance and giving a massive let's for playing from dogs because we're action figures. Actually sounds true. Yeah. Let's see. Oh boy. What happens here? I forgot actually what happens. Let's see. Bump. Let's see. Let's get my stuff there so I can see. So it's gonna go down there. Okay. Bump. Oh. Hello. Bump. Bump. Might have to delete this keyframe. Maybe. See what happens. Gonna just delete this keyframe and see if it works. Maybe not. Yeah, okay. I'll figure it out then. Okay. When the apple hits, let's see if I can get that again. Okay. Because I'm not 100% happy with this pose here, so let's see if we can get this closer to here and then figure this out. Okay, cool. And then, okay, that's close enough. Hello, Elijah. Yeah. Let's see. What do we got? Trying to imagine what's happening. Sorry, I get distracted. Bump. Bonk. So for here, I want her to have her eyes okay, and she's kind of like, yeah. So for here, kind of lift it up. Kind of have a little bit of a bump. Let's see. I feel there needs to be some official if you pick up stuff and hold things with hooves. That, yeah. I feel like the G5 movie, they kind of go around that, where it's kind of like, oh, let's have the cell phone have like this like hoof hole or something. That sounds weird, but it's like has a little indent, so like when you hold the phone and like your hoof can like kind of be propped up or like kind of slide into it. So there's stuff like that I kind of think about, but like just like generally holding something with a hoof, it's like that. I don't know how that even works. Let's see. Is that time for her to shake her head as she raises it off the ground? Of course. I can always retime it. I mean, I can retime the entire thing and like add 10 more seconds or whatever else I want. So, it'll just be making sure that angle in equals angle out, basically. When exactly? Let me just kind of go through here pretty slowly. about when. Because if it's after what I got here, then that'll work really well. But otherwise, it's gonna be a little tricky. Oh, here's some of my graphs. Oh, look at them go. On the right side here, see all these pretty lines, and that's what's dictating the angles and positions of everything that I've been working with. Let's see. Pony hooves are like spider legs, where it's a bunch of tiny hook hairs. Oh yeah, wasn't there? What was that? Where it was something cursed like that, where like the hand was made out of a whole bunch of tiny hands. Was that actually a dragon maid or something weird? Yeah, I think there was a joke in there like that. Like, how come one of you got like one of those Animal Crossing circle hands? And it's like, well, it's because my, circle hand is made out of a whole bunch of thousands of tiny hands. I kind of grab onto it. Let's see. Or maybe just after the hit, apple to apple hits her. Here's Bonk. I think it'd be cute. Okay. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. And then time for her to shake her head. Shake her head. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we're on the right wavelength. Okay, cool. I got it right. And okay. Next, Ben. Let's see. Scroll protection to the comic dub on that concept. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it works as like a, maybe here she can like kind of, for here she kind of, let's see. Let's see. What should we want? Let's kind of move her head down a little bit. Maybe like look more towards the camera. But obviously like this is too much. So it's kind of like always got to be like a little bit offset. This is where we make more general poses. So maybe like, maybe here, maybe she like looks down or something. Maybe I'll figure out the eyeballs as well later. So maybe like, Of course it won't be that abrupt, so maybe it'll be more, need the rest of the neck to kind of follow along with that. Let's see. There you go. So now I got a nice curve to her. Let's move that. Feels weird. Oh, it's because this is whack. Let's get these more. Figure this out. Maybe she kind of like shakes her head. Okay. That's the number I was freaking out that was moving. Let's move this back. Party rig, move this back. What's shaking her head? I'm trying to figure that out. And then probably have her eyes also kind of move down just for now. Maybe she could like look at the apple. That kind of works. works. Let's see. There you go. Yeah, sorry, just trying to figure this out. It's maybe trying to get her into this position. It is end time. Let's see if I can do this real quick then. Get her into this pose here. It's always good to have her kind of look downward when she like does a head turn. I like to have her head like move downward. Yeah, it's all good. I'm just trying to figure this out of like how to actually end this now. What's going on? Let's get rid of wings. There you go. Yeah, I'm trying to incorporate stuff, but it's like I planned this fairly well, so it's kind of like okay, let me try to figure this out for you, but it's like, yeah. Whether or not that works, I don't know. That's too much. It's too much. Let's take these and like move these down a bit, so then I can have a couple more frames to in between here and the next frame. And have her. Oh, that's the next one actually. So I'll just make this one more of that. Okay, so between here to here, I want her more up. Continue the motion. Continue the motion. Continue the motion. It's going to be a little tricky to get into whatever this pose is from here. Thank you, Alex. It's a little bit too much. It's just too much. So, sorry about that. Something else also kind of moves. I think her shoulder moves. And something else happens. Between here to here. Bump, bump. What actually does happen? Between here. No, it actually goes here. Beep. 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 Let's put that over. That's pretty good. I can like clean it up, obviously, but I think this is actually pretty good, really well, for how like not clean it is. It's like actually kind of feels pretty good. It actually has some weird weight to it. I'm actually pretty surprised with that. There you go. Let's see. You can see everything here. Hello, Buttercup. Yeah, to you. Welcome. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Just trying to set up the scene itself. Egg cookie. Bump. Oh, that's that. You gotta give it to me. Come on. That's cool. Oh. Once we add like the wings flying, a lot more facial animation and maybe some more cleanup stuff, general stuff. I think this is gonna work. I was like actually pretty. Of course, 3D animation is not, again, like my main main forte. So being able to get something that's decent is like, huh, works really well. Very nice. Yeah, so it'll just be up to, yeah, what I said is just clean it up. There you go. Yeah, the funny part comes from the from you guys. Ooh, oh, space. Oh, gave the idea of crash landing, and then we just expanded on that pretty well. There you go. Okay, run that a couple more times, I think. Let's see. Again, swimmable, yeah. All right. So obviously we're not done. We'll probably take a couple more streams to finish this. I don't know if it'll take till like all the way into November, but probably like the beginning of November to like really have this really good. Want to add more stuff like when the apple falls on her head, like from here. I want to add like a little explosion-y or kind of like impact kind of a shape to have it be like a little like starburst kind of a thing, where I think maybe in here I have it. I don't know what these layers are actually, sorry. I think right about, oh, I have one. Ooh, yeah. Oh, the cell phone has to fall too. We have to make the cell phone, that'll probably be its own thing to get to what we want to be on it. And do like the rock with the Izzy's rock and all those other Mad Lib stuff. Probably do something like that. Have her eyes move around. This is my weird eye go around mark there. And then add some little stuff there. But yeah, basically like when that falls, let's see. So when the apple falls on her, we can like have these little sharp shapes come out. Trying to draw it. Hip, 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 hip. These little like pew, 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 shapes. So like, and this will be like a 2D element for this thing to kind of like show up for like a couple frames. So it'd be like a 2D drawn element that then I can place in a 3D environment and then having it just appear in the right position at the right time. So I've done a load of experience doing stuff like this a lot of the time with the Derpy movie. This happens a lot where a lot of impacts happen, especially in the last one, chapter 5. There's a part where like Derpy like keeps like, she gets the bucket on her head and then like she keeps like hitting the ground, and so every time an impact happens I would have this little impact thing that happens a lot. So pretty good at that, so I'm not worried about that. But I think just having a direction of like halfway through figured out like let's have it be on stop motion-y 2s, it works really well. So we'll continue with that style then. I think that works pretty well. So this was the original ending where like she like looks back up at us, but now it's kind of kept out there, and now she kind of just looks at the apple. Kind of looks at it. Had a couple more keyframes there at the beginning. I think that looked a little faster. But otherwise, That's still the tip of the iceberg, but oh well. Let's go to toaster time. Boop, 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 boop. All right, let's see. What happened? Let's see. Alex says he uses capitals. Yeah. Yeah, Star just gets stingy and getting the chat to like look proper to a Star standard. So wanted to make sure everyone knows the rules. Is that if it gets like too excessive, like with too many capitals, too many emojis, too many whatever else you might think you're doing too much of, then we like to politely ask you to stop to respectfully just have like a normally formatted sentence. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to explain. Is that it's just like, please, like, yeah, we're not trying to be overly excessive with it, but once you start arguing back, then that's where it escalates. So to avoid all that, we would just appreciate you to just say like, okay, and then move on. That's the more mature way of going, like, make sure that things don't escalate and gets even worse, is to just like, okay, and then have nicely formatted sentences that don't go overboard with emojis and capitalizations and other stuff I can't think of. So yeah, that's what we're saying. But yeah. Yeah, you can still like watch and stuff, but please keep watching the stream. But if you feel like you're not comfortable or with the following the rules with the comments section, I want to separate that because there's probably definitely people who just view and watch the streams. So and obviously they're so invisible that they're not going to be a nuisance in some way. So but yeah, go ahead and keep watching if you want to, if you like the content, please. But if you don't feel comfortable with commenting and think that's not fair, then we'll respect that with that. Thank you. Let's see. Anyone else? Okay. If that's the case, thank you, Alex. Thanks for not being overly trying with us. Guess for new headers and warning signs. Yeah, we just want to have a nicely formatted chat so we can. Obviously, I'm actually okay with it. It's just like Star wants to make sure that Star's a moderator, of course, so Star has to is able to do their own rules. So honestly, I'm okay with most of the stuff that Star says no about, but if we start allowing too many people doing that, then it does become a little bit hard to read, and especially if someone actually has a legitimate question somewhere in there that's like, how do you do something, or can you go back, or what's a bone, something that's actually important to the stream. If it's like mixed in between a whole bunch of spams and capitalization stuff, then it's like it does tend to become a little bit more tricky to filter out and go, let me find like the actual good comment in there in a sea of other bad ones. So that's also the case as well, is to make sure that I can see the good comments between all the whole bunch of other stuff. I do try to read everything. It's just that sometimes it takes a little longer for me if I get too distracted. That's what I am right now. And lost my train of thought. I'm gonna get some water. Let's move on. Hey, we didn't make a Cats reference this whole time. Go us. Woo! Alright. Yeah. I think in like elementary school, probably, I don't know what, 3rd, 4th grade, whatever, I got like a black cat costume, and I felt like I was so cool. And then Then we had like a parade that I was not prepared for, where it's like had I guess like half the school like be in the parade, and then the other half would watch on the sidelines on both sides of like a hallway outside, and it's like, huh. When I feel like an idiot, you know, walking through this, like I didn't feel great having a cat costume. I don't know. So I felt embarrassed with that. But now I can do it with my own VTube and don't have to actually wear the costume. That's great. Yeah. But yeah, this is actually one of my legitimate costumes that I wore as a kid. Was something like this, where it had the cat ears headband, probably some face paint, and then had a little tail actually. Didn't get the tail on the VTube one, but yeah, had a little safety pin string or something. Yeah, I think it was just fastened onto like my pants or something, or my shirt at the bottom. So yeah, so that was really fun. Let's see though. I don't know what I'm gonna do IRL for Halloween at this point. Yeah, I don't have any plans quite yet. Still up in the air. A lot of stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna wear on stream either. And if Cookie's still here, we're gonna figure out how to do some sort of collaboration between us. Maybe Star can join. Maybe Star can draw or something. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we can get some of you guys into the drawing, multi-use, multiplayer drawing app thing. It's not a game as much as just having a really good multiplayer MS Paint style canvas online thing. We've done something like that before, so trying to do it with a new website that I found. Let's see. Catboy Yoshi. Maybe. Sad part is that I think I found my original costume from that. My original cat costume. The headband is way smaller, and the cattail just looks like, yeah, so it's really short. So that's not gonna really work too well. None of it's gonna work. None of it fits. Let's see. Boy. I didn't get the reference. Oh, well done. That's okay. We fence. Okay. Let's see then. What I want to talk about. Are we still talking about that then? Let's see though. Yeah, for Halloween. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's it. I was gonna talk about my Inktober, which I'm sort of doing. I'm sort of half not doing. I'm not doing a typical Inktober. We're just about halfway done with October, so that's a nice halfway point for that. I have been doing it every day. I'm doing it every morning, and I'm posting my pictures on Twitter. Twitter.com/Yoshi Greenwater is at the bottom somewhere in the description. Yeah, go check those out. I have apparently 14 pictures. So if you read it from newest to oldest, it's gonna be a little bit weird. So you have to like scroll all the way to the beginning of it, beginning of the month. I'm working on traditional frame-by-frame animation. Something I don't usually use. I don't usually use paper for my animations. I'm using a light box. I have paper. I have a hole punch. I have a peg bar. I think in the first picture, day one, I show my desk to show like, yeah, I'm actually drawing on a on a real desk with real paper and real pens. So it's really fun because I've done so much digital stuff and you know, cutout animation that doesn't quite require too much, you know, drawing skills, where it requires a lot more diligence and a lot more intensive work to actually pull off a 2D traditional animation. So I'm really excited to, yeah, I'm still having fun working on it. I was gonna say I'm excited to work on it, but I've already been working on it for 2 weeks. So Yeah, I started to scan like the first couple of weeks worth of drawings and then put them into Toon Boom and scan them in. And Toon Boom is actually really, really good because it can convert the original drawing lines. It can find the lines on the paper and then convert those, what it thinks is a line, into a digital stroke. So it turns into a vector path. So then it can use those paths that I can then color it and alter it and play with it. So it's really cool. That's like I can scan something real and then start to color it in digitally. Yeah, thank you, Purple. Yeah, to you. Let's see. Yeah, so started to color those in about halfway. I'm planning to scan a week's worth each week. So that's coming up. I'm going to start scanning 7 more. So that's going to be fun. See where that's going. Because this will be the first time I actually see it with proper timing. That's the big thing, is that you can flip through the papers and try to imagine if things kind of, you can tell if something's kind of like moves, offset from pose A, pose B, pose C. It's like, no, B is a little bit off. Should be A, B, C. But if A, B, C, it's kind of like, wait a minute. So if there's like a single line that's a little bit off, and then you start tracing from that one, then it starts to deform over time. So making sure that I reference older drawings and have, today I had like 2 older drawings. So I had like 3 papers on top of each other where I had like, let's say drawing 1 from day 1, drawing 2 from day 2, and then a new fresh paper, I'm drawing 3. So I draw on top of 3, but I have the light box to see between and see all through the bottom of all of it, so I can see everything, and then see like, oh look, this is how this line started to fall off over time between these 2 drawings, and then on that day, then try to pick out like, should it start to start to deform this way, or try to bring it really back without making it seem like it boils out, and kind of like boils out like a wolf, kind of like a huge arc outward. So like weird stuff like that, just like have to like really actually think about it. Be more critical about my line work, because it's like I can't really see if it's working, or even if it's boils, or like if it's freaking out. It's hard to really tell, so I have to like really cross-reference my own pictures and then figure it out later. I think I'll plan to like have like an animated version where it's just the raw scans, maybe, without any tinkering. Keep it to the original timing that I probably was, I thought would happen. And then probably I'll have a cleaner one that'll probably be in color, and then maybe revector it, maybe like trace over it with newer lines, and try and make a cleanup version. So then I can get the best of both worlds, where it's like, here's what I did, and then here's what I can do with technology, and see which one turns out better, But yeah, that's been really fun. It's been really a lot more thinking, a lot more critical thinking of like really thinking like, okay, this line, if I want this character, like this shape to be like 1 millimeter up on the stage, and if I want it to be similar in shape and size, what should I do? So I'm doing all these weird traditional tricks like shift and trace, where I can take the new paper and actually take it off the peg board, and then literally just slide the new paper around, and then try to really like clamp it down. Hold it with my hand, so I have like the previous frame underneath, use a light table so I can see through it, and then trace it from this new offset position. So then you get that similar shape from what you wanted from the previous frame, but now it's in a different position. and then you can put it back on the peg bar and then continue with whatever you're drawing. So that's a legitimate trick. It's like it has a name and it works really well. So it's like really fun that it's like, ooh, I can do this crazy trick. That's even inside of Toon Boom, that like you can do stuff like that. With like drawings, there's like a shift and trace tool that even includes like a little UI that has a little pegboard, and you can align it in this offset and then pretend like you're doing a digitally version of what I did traditionally. So yeah, that was really fun to be able to do little real life traditional animation life hacks kind of stuff. It's like, ooh, let me try this technique. But yeah, I think about it for that. Let me get some more water, and I'll wrap it up for real. Talked about Midnight Mirrors a little bit earlier. Let's see. So that's been fun. It's been over a year with that. And then my movie, getting the storyboards set up and getting some scenes and shots compiled. Maybe I'll start working on 3D modeling the new set, like the new destination they're getting to. Let's see. All right, this week I'm my cat, so I'm getting saying yeah. All right, did that for everyone. It has been a while since I was late. Exactly. I'm sorry. Yeah, so every stream, I can point, is at 4 p.m/7 p.m. EST is when I start. So there you go. So now you can never forget. But yeah, if you want to watch this from the beginning, I got all the VODs for all of my live streams for like 2 years or something, are all on the or they're all in a playlist, and they're on my YouTube channel. I think there's a tab for playlists, and there's one called live streams. So in case anyone else wants to watch an older live stream, that's where they are. I started to unlist them, because otherwise it like really clogs up the my dashboard, where it's like all my uploads are now becoming live streams, and it's like I kind of want to show off my cartoons, show off my finished cartoons, you know, as well. So yeah. No problem. Thank you. If you watch your phone and watch it, and then when you're out of it. Oh, cool. Is that a VTuber? Let me see what version. I read it as Russia, so that's on my end with that. But anyway, let me just put that into Google right there. Okay, save that for later. Okay. Let's see. Thank you though. Let's see. So probably next week we'll continue with this. We'll work on more of the 3D Derpy animation. I'll see how much I can do with intermediate streams, whatever you want to call it, between streams. Keep working on that. See if there's anything more assets that I need to make, just to make these streams more production, or was it? Feel like they go somewhere. Yeah. She's not allowed. Okay, awesome. I figured from the start. Yeah, your interest. Otherwise, I think we're good. I'd like to wrap it up. I like to have dinner. I like to rest. Like to stop thinking about this crazy 3D animation for a while. Come back to it with new eyes. So come back to this. Hope to see you guys when I come back to this as well. And for all my feature chapters in the movie, hopefully you guys are caught up. 'Cause that'd be pretty epic if you guys are caught up with the movie and watched all of them. Anyway, even a cute off against a picture of one of the viewer's cats. Oh, cool. Well, hope that's fun. I didn't want to say like, I'll check it out too. It's like I'll hope you have fun with that. Yeah, because right now I'm kind of exhausted. Alrighty. Thank you guys. Excuse me. Have a good, excuse me, excuse me. Have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna have dinner. Yeah, hope you guys have fun, and then we'll be back on next Tuesday to continue with this. So thank you again. Sayonara. Okay, yeah, that was bad. Okay, sorry. Thank you. Bye, guys.